Right, so we're so excited to see everybody today. Welcome to 2021. Today, we're going to go through a couple reminders and updates, and then we'll break into breakout rooms by species area, and our species chairs and committee chairs are prepared to share with you some important updates for today. So first and foremost, let's go over some just kind of general housekeeping things. As you jumped on, we were asking you to put your name and your club in the chat box, please. You are all muted today, and we're going to use the chat box in order to facilitate some of our conversation. So if you have questions at any time, please put them in the chat box, or you can send them directly to Abby Averill. So she is our fabulous program assistant. You see her there, she's rooting on the Browns like all of us today. And you can send her a message because I won't be able to see your messages. We will have a time at the end for general Q&A. And then, as I mentioned, Q&A with our species chairs as well. So, let's see, Abby, is there anything else I missed? I think we're in good shape. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to check and make sure that our Royal Court members are on here. Let's see if I can find them. So we're going to start, as I mentioned, with some with our pledges, and we'll go ahead and call things to order. Okay, so our agenda for today, we're going to go through our pledges with Rachel and Briar. Hopefully they'll be on, do some program reminders and updates, and then we'll go into our breakout rooms. So I am not seeing that our Royal Court members are on, so I will go ahead. If everyone please wants to stand, remove your hats, and we'll do our pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, if you'll join me in the 4-H pledge. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Okay, thank you. All right, so jumping into our program updates, a quick update about COVID. Hopefully you all received an email from the County Extension Office over the weekend and have seen some of the posts on Facebook as well. We received notification that Ohio State University is allowing office to return to modified opening plans. So as of this week, following Martin Luther King Day tomorrow, we will be open on Mondays and Thursdays by appointment only. So you must call in advance to schedule an appointment before visiting. And when you come, we do require that you wear a face covering, a face mask, and practice social distancing. You will see when you come to the office that we have moved things around to help facilitate that. So when you come, there are some barriers that are in place and some other things that have been moved, chairs and so forth. But please do call. And again, on Mondays and Wednesdays, Kim will be in the office. The rest of us continue to work primarily remotely and are available primarily via phone and email. But if you need to schedule a time to visit with Abby or myself, we can arrange that as well on a case-by-case basis.
I think Monday and Thursday. I think you said Wednesday.
Monday and Thursday. Yes, Monday and Thursday. Thanks, Ab. In-person meetings. As of yesterday, we can return to in-person club meetings. However, hosting meetings virtually is preferred. Activities that are critical and essential, they have to be educationally focused. So you can't have an award ceremony or an end of the year wrap up or a kickoff event. But if you are holding a meeting where you are doing instruction, you can do that in person. However, according to our health department, we are limited to 10 people in one setting in one group. So this is solely based on the health department. Ohio State University has a higher number, but for us here in the county, we are limited to 10. Again, face masks are required inside and outside at all events, and there's no food that's permitted. You can find more guidelines on this as of this past week that are updated on ohio4h.org, and the easiest way to get there is that link that is on your screen. Advisors, you should have all received an email from me this week with those details and clarifications as well. So some reminders, you should all be receiving the County 4-H newsletter. It's also posted on our website, but this is what the newsletter looks like when it comes to you. It is only emailed, and generally an announcement is also posted on our Facebook page. We no longer mail these hard copies, so it's important that you give us an accurate email address in the 4-H online system to receive the information. There's lots of program updates in this last version of the newsletter that was released just before the start of the new year, including some junior fair reminders, project news, new projects, and so forth. In there, there's also a link for you to check out our County 4-H program update. So in a typical year, our 4-H volunteers would all come together for our annual update. This takes place of that this year and is available for everybody to watch on YouTube. You see the link down there at the bottom, go.osu.edu/21/4-H update. And all those Go links are case sensitive, so make sure you put that in lowercase. So there is reminders in here again about enrollments, and then also at the conclusion of it, reminders for our volunteers about your volunteer requirements, standards of behavior, and so forth. So check that out. The link again is also in the newsletter. A reminder from our 4-H advisory committee that we are having a 4-H week commercial contest. So we want to hear from you. What does 4-H mean to you, and how do you live the 4-H's? The idea behind this is that these will be shared on social media and hopefully also go out to our local schools as well. So in a video commercial in 2 minutes or less, we encourage you to tell us, what does 4-H mean to you? And then awards will be presented to the best individual junior under 12 years old, senior, and then to team categories as well. But there needs to be 5 submissions in each category. And the prizes for those have not been determined, but for the club that wins and has the best entry, that club will receive a $100 certificate for club apparel. But again, we need 5 entries in those categories. So those need to be submitted by February 15th. They can come into me via email, Google Drive, YouTube, box link, whatever works. Enrollments are looking a little bit different this year. We're still using the 4-H online enrollment system, but we are going paperless this year. So all families need to enroll themselves by March 15th. The links to do that are on our county website, ashtabula.osu.edu. Click on 4-H information and forms under the 4-H section. And there's some helpful videos that you can watch to learn about how to enroll. We'll share more information about the enrollment process and hold some open enrollment office hours as well here in the next coming weeks. But the best place to get started is to check out those videos online. Families, we ask that you enroll yourself. You're going to use your email address that you had last year, or if you are a new family, you will create a new profile, and then you will put in your projects and your club, and the volunteers will approve your enrollments in 4-H online before they come to the county office. So again, we'll spend more time on that. I know it's a different system, still 4-H online. 2.0 this year is supposed to be very mobile friendly, and this is where we send a lot of our communications. So it's imperative that you put in the correct information and email address when you're putting in your enrollment. And those are due when? March 15th. March 15th. So by March 15th, make sure that you have enrolled in the 4-H program. So some other enrollment reminders, you can build on your project from last year. If you build on it, you can take the same project. So if it expands on the previous year's knowledge and has new experiences and growth, you can take that project again. There's no project changes after April 1st. And then you must be enrolled in the project in order for that project to come to project judging, qualify for the Ohio State Fair, or come to our local fair as well. So be sure, work with your volunteer to make sure that you're enrolled in the correct project. Also, the 4-H Advisory Committee is asking clubs to monitor project completion. Youth that have not completed their projects for 3 years that may be dismissed from the county program. So we're asking volunteers to be diligent about making sure that these families and youth are completing their projects. The calendar. This year's calendar is all virtual. So in live time, we at the county office can update our county calendar. If you go to 4-H Youth Development on ashtabula.osu.edu, click on the 4-H Calendars tab, you can see a live version of our calendar. You can print the calendar, you can export events to your own calendar as well if you want to do that instead. You can also check out the animal sciences, horse calendars, and the Ohio State calendar is linked to our website as well. In the events on the calendar, you can also find the links to apply for things for more information. So for example, the 4-H project assistance information is linked right in the due date, as is the enrollment information. It's linked on the March 15th calendar date. So you'll be able to see that in live time. Camp counselors, we are planning for a camp this year at 4-H Camp Whitewood in June. And with that, we are onboarding our camp counselors at this time. So Abby has a great group of counselors that she's excited to be working with this year. And we are also accepting applications for new camp counselors. So youth have to be 15 as of camp. And you can see the link there on the screen to apply. It is case sensitive, so make sure it is lowercase when you are accessing that information. And any questions about our camping program can be directed to Abby. All right, so the best way to stay connected with us is to check out the website, visit ohio4h.org. Be mindful of your emails that are coming from 4-H Online. We find that email is the best way to communicate with our 4-H families. We will share our newsletters and, as I mentioned, post them to our website, and also push project announcements and other reminders through the 4-H Online system. Facebook is also a great way to connect with us, very simply at Ashtabula County 4-H on Facebook. And then many of our species chairs and project areas and our clubs, I know as well, have banned or use Remind or Facebook to connect with their families. So whatever tool works for you, there are multiple ways that you can stay engaged in our program. We are offering 2 more countywide 4-H meetings coming up this winter, and many of our clubs I know are using these as one of their own club meetings. So the expectation from Ohio 4-H is that clubs hold a minimum of 6 meetings a year. That is a requirement, and these meetings can be used as part of your own club meeting. So in February, we're going to talk about enrollments, and then we're going to have a guest speaker as well. And in March, we're going to talk about how you can serve as a 4-H club officer. So we'll talk about some of those leadership roles and how to get engaged with your club as a club officer. So maybe you haven't had elections yet, or maybe you're going to be considering an officer position. We're going to offer you some tips, tricks, tools to become an effective and efficient club officer. And as we did with this meeting, the connection information will be posted the morning of and sent out in the week prior via 4-H Online. So at this time, if anybody has any questions, you can put those in the chat for us, or you see our contact information there on the screen. The best way to get a hold of Abby and I is, of course, to shoot us an email or call us at the number there as well. We are generally available Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. However, as many of you know, we have a lot of other appointments as well, but we will always make time for you. So if you want to connect with us, that is the best way to do it. So if you have questions, you can go ahead and put those in the chat. If not, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to move into our breakout rooms. So for those of you that are not familiar with breakout rooms, I'll quickly explain how that's going to work. And I did add a breakout room. There is a sheep breakout room too, because I see Courtney is on with us today as well. So a box is going to pop up on the screen, and it's going to ask you to pick which breakout room you would like to go to, unless you are a species chair, in which case I hopefully have assigned you your breakout room. So, but let's make sure that that works. If you don't want to go to a breakout room, you can stay and chat with Abby and I if you would like, or you can sign off as well. Abby and I will hang around until about 3:15 on this Zoom and answer any questions that folks may have. But again, the species chairs will be offering you 5 to 10 minutes of information kind of to kick off the year. And then you'll have the opportunity to ask them any questions that you want. And then if you want to come back here to our main room, you can. To do that, in the bottom right-hand corner, make sure that you just hit the blue button that says leave room. If you hit the red button that says leave, you'll sign out of the meeting completely and have to log back in. So it's totally your choice. But again, we do have species chairs and committee reps that are excited to share with you some of our program updates. So are there any questions? The breakout room sessions are not recorded, so we won't be able to share the information directly from that. I'm just going to make sure that we have at least one species chair or one volunteer in each breakout room. And my volunteers, if you guys just want to kind of wait a minute until people join and then go ahead and get started, that would be great. Okay. Abby, are there any questions in the chat? We're all caught up?
None that I can see.
All right.
Oh, they asked if they're getting unmuted. So I think
Yes.
when you go into the breakout rooms, you'll be able to unmute yourself so you can chat.
Yes. Yep. And I'll go ahead and I'll clear that setting now so everybody will be able to unmute themselves. All right, I'm going to go ahead and launch our breakout rooms. And as I said, Abby and I will be on here until about 3:15 if you want to come back and join us. Otherwise, have a great day. Enjoy the game. Stay safe. And we will see you guys all really soon. Welcome back, everybody. Nice to see everybody back.
I think most of them were leaving. We didn't have anybody join us, just me, Debbie, and Heidi. So the one kid on our club that actually needed it, they called me and said they were having connection issues.
Oh, that's too bad.
So I said, well, I'm teaching it anyway, so I can help you. So.
All right.
How many people did you have today?
I think there was 97 at one point.
Well, that's really good. Good.
And we did record, so we'll go ahead and post this for everybody as well.
Yeah.
So we'll put it out there if people want it. So,
Janet,
does anybody? Go ahead, Carla.
Does that mean the individual groups could be posted? As I'm curious on what happened, I went to the beef side. Does anybody here have any special things they need to let us know for, like hogs and lambs and dairy beef eaters? If they're still on?
I don't know if anybody has an update that they want to share. MAC meets next week, as does the Small Animal Committee. So all those guidelines will be approved and posted, but there's not significant changes, for those this year. So I know the turkey order form is posted. And Jim was working on the chicken and duck one, I believe, as well. So that information, right, Jim?
Yes, we're working on that. I'm going to finalize it probably after the MAC meeting because we want to go over some tagging stuff.
Perfect. And the big thing, I guess, since you mentioned tagging with MAC, of course, and is to make sure these youth get their animals tagged and get the numbers into us by the end of the month. So by the 30th, we need to have their pictures submitted and know when, know what their tag number is. So the tag number and who it belongs to. So Kenzie, I see your message there about dairy. Dairy committee just met on Thursday and they won't meet again until the second Thursday of April. I know equine committee's been working real hard. They've got lots of guidelines and advisor information and youth information, project rules that they're going to be updating and sharing. So they've been working really hard, and Harley's still recruiting for teams as well, for judging teams, if anybody is interested there. Anybody else have anything that they want to share?
Debbie's birthday, if you guys want to sing to her.
It is. singing on Zoom is a really bad idea, and I'm not
Oh,
going
Nate, I
to
like
be a
that idea.
solo artist.
We'll
So
just listen to Jenna sing it.
not today,
Come on, you did
Courtney.
the pledges.
Courtney could. Court. All right. Any other questions? I'm glad you guys were all able to join today and still make it for the game. So excited for what this year holds. If you have any questions too about the new in-person guidelines, I know they're not as open as we'd like them to be. We'd love to be able to meet as 50 people as the university recommends, but we have to follow our health department guidelines. And so right now, 10 is the number that we have to work with. So I would encourage you to do some hybrid meetings. If you can do some in-person and virtual meetings, I know connectivity is an issue. That exemption for in-person does not apply to committees. So committees will continue to meet virtually until something changes, and Abby and I are considering what that might look like. So there are different exemptions that are allowed. Junior Fair does have an exemption again. Abby also has an exemption for camp counselor trainings. So, but again, the caveat there is that we're limited to groups of 10. So we'll be working on some creative ways to be kicking off the year and doing programming. Also, don't forget, if you have videos or if you can encourage your youth to send me a 30 to 60-second video of why they love their 4-H project, especially my species chairs, talk to your species mentors. Get those to me by February 1st. We're going to put together like a highlight reel of 4-H in lieu of the carnival this year. Okay. If there's nothing else, then we're going to let everybody go. Have a great week. We'll see everybody really soon. Thank you all so much for your support. Stay healthy. Stay well. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.